Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good afternoon, everyone. We are learning True and Wholesome Consciousness, right? True and Wholesome Consciousness. So we just finished consciousness, rooted and greed. Loba mula, Citta. So we have been learning consciousness, rooted in hatred, right? Dosa mula, Citta. But last week, I got a question, not last week, yesterday I got a question. So one of the students asked me, "Dear Bande, thank you for your notes. Sorry, I have missed your class last Saturday." But she asked this question, would appreciate if you could clarify. Even desire have to be abandoned when attain Nibbana. Actually, this is from one of the sutta from Samyutta Nikaya. How are we to improve and what to cultivate if we have to abandon all desires, even desire for truth, desire for goodness, desire to act kindly and wisely? This is a very, very common question among the Buddhists as well as non-Buddhists. I think it's very important to know. But at first I replied, if you listen my recording, you will know all these answers. But today I want to repeat, because this is a very common questions among the Buddhists as well as non-Buddhists. Actually, it is very difficult to accept. So we have to abandon all desires, even desire to do good, right? So actually, so therefore, some people translate craving, second noble truth, samudaya satcha. So the cause of the original craving. So actually they do not, some people do not translate craving, so they translate as a desire. Even Wapula Rahula, a very eminent Buddhist scholar monks, he also used the word desire. So if we see the word desire, of course, is really confusing. So people have doubt. So we have to abandon all desire, right? Because normally, our nature, we have a lot of desires, right? To do good, to do bad. So here, so we translate the word taṅhā as a desire. So if we translate about desire, we have to abandon all type of desire. Then only you will attain cessation of suffering. or nibbana, right? But it is not wrong to translate the word desires. But for me, I prefer to translate the word craving instead of desires. But of course, it's not wrong. But if we use the word desire, it leads to a little bit misunderstanding. But it's not wrong. So if we quote the what the Sutta said from Sutta Nikaya, even desire have to be abandoned when attain nibbana. Actually, I have explained last week, right? For that, I will not repeat it. Here, the question is, how are we to improve? And what to cultivate if we have to abandon all desires, even desire for truth or goodness, desire to act kindly and wisely. As you know, when you attain nibbana, there is no wholesome or unwholesome deed. Even all type of consciousness have to abandon when you attain nibbana. Nibbana, there is no consciousness, there is no mental factor, there is no material forms. So it is very difficult to accept. So here, even desire to attain nibbana have to abandon, right? Including all the desire to do good, right? Normally we are doing good things, but together with expectations, not like Arahant. Arahant and the Buddha, they do it. They think that they should do. No expectations. So they do it without any type of expectations. Just do it because they should do it, right? So therefore, it is important to understand between different level of desires or different level of craving. Today I want to repeat a little bit. Different stages of craving. So it is a little bit different from what I have explained last week, right? So I think it is good to repeat it, or it's good to have a better understanding about different stages of desires or different stages of craving. I want to use the word craving. Craving, greed, lust, clinging, desire. Here, the same. Here, in this place, right? Here. Wherever you use desire or craving or clinging or lust or anything, greed, right? So it is the same. Number one, sensory craving. We call it kama-taṇhā or kama-rāga, sensory craving. So as you know, we have a lot of craving or a lot of desires. Desire to see something, right? Because you use your senses. Desire to hear a beautiful song. This is sensory craving or sensory desires, right? Sensory desires. But here, number two, five material craving, rupa-taṇhā or rupa-rāga. This is regarding with rupa-jhana, meditative bliss. So you have craving for it, and you have craving the outcome of such type of jhana, a rebirth in rupa existence, right? Rupa existence. Well, you say that craving for meditation, meditative bliss is bad? No, it is good, right? It's excellent. Cannot compare with the first type of craving, sensory craving. Number three, immaterial craving. The happiness is higher and higher. So if we compare immaterial craving compared to the last two, so this one is better, higher, right? Higher. So immaterial craving means you don't have any craving regarding with the form. You don't have any desire to enjoy with your eye, ear, body, nose, tongue. So you just enjoy immaterial or formless meditative bliss. You don't need any other thing. So just enjoy with the meditative bliss. But when you have that level, we still have craving. We crave for it. And we crave for the outcome of such type of jhana bliss. Rebirth in arupa existence. Right? And number 4, if you want to know about these 3 type of craving, so there are 2 suttas I quoted. Actually, there are some many suttas, but I just quoted very, well-known suttas. Singiti Sutta from Digha Nikaya. Actually, I have given the page number so that easier to find out, right? Actually, Singiti Sutta is very long suttas. So, sutta number 31, I think. That is the page number is given so that you can find out right away. And the last one is Metta Sutta from Anguttara Nikaya. So, actually, these type of craving, 3 type of craving can be found many places, especially in commentaries. So, I'm not quoting from commentary; it's from Pali Canon directly, right? So, the last one, Nibbana craving. So that we have learned, right? Nibbana craving. We have desire to attain Nibbana. This is a desire, right? There's no craving. So actually, this one from 2 suttas, mainly Bhikkhuni Sutta from Anguttara Nikaya and Onnapa Brahmana Sutta from Samdha Nikaya. Actually, most interesting thing is 2 suttas are explained by Venerable Ananda. So not by the Buddha. So actually, 2 suttas that Nibbana craving is given by Venerable Ananda. So the first one, Bhikkhuni Sutta, is not Nibbana. Talking about enlightenment, craving for enlightenment, right? Craving for enlightenment. But I will use the word Nibbana list, right? Nibbana craving. Another one is Onnapa Brahmana Sutta, desire for Nibbana. So this Brahmin as Venerable Ananda. Actually, I have taken. I will give the note for it. So this Brahmin as Venerable Ananda, so you always said that all the desire have to be abandoned, even for desire to attain Nibbana. I don't understand. Desire for Nibbana is very good, right? Why we have to abandon them? Then Venerable Ananda, giving his simile, he explained. Suppose Brahmin, you have desire to visit a park or Sentosa, let's say Sentosa. You have desire to visit Sentosa, right? That desire. But when you arrive Sentosa, so that desire automatically subsided, removed. No more desire, right? To visit Singapore, Sentosa Island. Just like that. So when you still have desire to attain Nibbana, you cannot attain it. Slighted, even this desire is a hindrance of blocking to attain Nibbana. So just like I give example, right? So you use a rope to cross over the stream, right? Stream. So you sway your body. There is a big tree here. in this shore. So this shore is very dangerous, full of wild animals. So therefore, need to cross over. There's no boat, no raft. So therefore, he used one of the just like it. What is it? Vine. Okay. For recording. Okay, vine. Just like a rope, right? You sway your body. You sway your body many times. So when you are sure that you can cross over the stream, so you have to give back, right? Give back that vine. So only that road is just like a desire. So we have to even give back. So if you do not remove such type of desire, you cannot attain Nibbana, right? So I'll give you one example. Venerable Anuruddha. So one of the one of the very important monks, famous monks at the time of the Buddha, cousin of the Buddha. And he is Nunratana, Anagami. And he had a lot of, he liked to perform a lot of miracles. He went to see his past lives, millions and billions of his past life. He enjoyed doing it. And in his mind, he did that if he practiced vipassana, he will become arahant right away. His thinking. So he think that I am Nunratana. Then I have a clear vision, clear wisdom. Then I can see millions and billions of my past life. So if I practice vipassana, I can attain arahantship very easily. And he did that. But when he really actually practiced vipassana, no, it takes very long time to do it. Because he approached Venerable Sariputta. Why? He make a lot of effort. He have a lot of desire, strong desire to attain Nibbana. Why I cannot attain? Then Venerable Sariputta said that, so you have conceit, a very slight conceit that I can see millions and billions of my past life. That is conceit, mana in Pali. There is also hindrance. So I am making a lot of effort. Why I do not become arahant? That is uddhacca. The mind is not stable, not concentrated in the meditation object. So the most importantly, desire, strong desire. So you cannot keep up strong desire. So for that reason, if you want to attain Nibbana, you even have to give up desire to attain Nibbana, right? Maybe a very clear example. Many people have, attachment or craving or desire. They want to get meditative bliss that they have experienced before. They try their best with the expectation that they will get such type of meditative bliss, but they cannot attain because of that desire to get such type of meditative bliss, right? So desire is a blocking. So what I want to say is the last one, Nibbana craving, right? Number one, sensory craving. So what is sensory craving? So we can divide two levels. Number one, sensory craving in misconduct level. Docharita in Pali. It's not good. Number one, desire to steal the property of other people. You have desire. We can also use the word craving. or greed. You have greed in your mind that you want to steal the property of other people, the property of government, right? Actually, this is a doctrine, misconduct. So the property belong to other people, belong to the country, right? So this is not good. So in this level, it's not good. So we have to try to avoid that, such desire. Then example 2, desire to commit sexual misconduct. As you know, you get married and you have your own partner, right? But you want to commit sexual misconduct with other people. That's not good, right? That is misconduct. So in this level, sensory craving in misconduct level is not good. So we have to avoid it. For that reason, we keep precept, right? The 5 precept, not to steal, not to commit sexual misconduct. That is sila. So we have to avoid it, right? So in this level, desire is not good for us. And second level, sensory craving in normal level. It's quite normal. It's quite normal. Number 1, desire to eat delicious food, right? Everyone wants to eat delicious food. Quite normal, right? Quite normal. So as I say here, we have to understand. So I always explain that there is 2 ways to look at, from the bottom of view and top-down view. So when we look at from top-down view, even such desire is not good. But when we look at from bottom of view, this is quite normal, right? Nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong with this, right? Desire to eat delicious food. Such a desire with one's own partner is quite normal. Nothing wrong. So you are having sexual misconduct with your own partner. Nothing wrong with this. It's quite normal. So it's called sensory craving in normal level. It is not doctrina. It is not misconduct. It is normal conduct. Another one, desire to become rich. Actually, there's many questions. So the Buddhists have a problem, a desire to become rich. They think that it is wrong to do so. Actually, it's quite normal. It's quite normal. So if you don't want to attain nibbana, so if you look at from bottom of view, it's quite normal. It's okay. You want to become rich, but it shouldn't be together with misconduct, right? So you want to become rich, therefore you steal the property of government, the property of other people, right? You cheat. So it's not good. But if you try to become rich in a fair way, in a moral way, with the moral way, nothing wrong with this, right? It is quite normal. Then you want to become successful, of course, quite normal. And you want to become famous. It is a normal level. But when you are practicing to attain nibbana, these are hindrances for you. So it is one of the hindrances. One of the hindrances is called kamicchana nivarana. Kamicchana nivarana, desire for sensory objects, right? So actually we want to become rich, want to become successful and famous. So because these are hindrances, so if you still have those things, you cannot attain nibbana, right? But in the normal level, it's quite normal. There's nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong with this, right? Of course, we can see that some some people, so they want to become famous. So they want to become, they are possessed with the, popularity or fame, right? Especially actor and actresses. So they will try every means, or they will try everything, including in not immoral way, right? Immoral way. So it will lead to it will lead to morally immoral behavior. So in football players, right? So they want to perform in the football field. So therefore they use drug, right? They use drug. Using drugs is misconduct, adultery. So if they use drug, they will harm their body, right? And also they will be barred from the football playing. So here, desire to become rich, desire to be successful and famous. Nothing wrong with this. Normal things, right? Normal things. Here the last one. Desire for meditative bliss before jhana status. Before you attain the first jhana, you may have physically and mentally, you have a pleasant feeling, and joy, and tranquilities. So all these are also considered sensory craving in normal level. Sensory craving in normal level, right? Even such type of craving is not good. But when we look at from bottom of view, these are very good. Nothing wrong with this. But when you look at from jhana level, so these are blocking stones for you, right? So therefore, it's the way we look at, right? So if we look at just normal level, so sensory craving in normal levels, nothing wrong with this, right? You can become, you can have a desire to become rich. It's okay. To become successful or famous, it's okay, right? So therefore, when you do, as long as you do not, how to say, you do not have craving in misconduct level, it stay okay. So you can get rebirth in human realm, and you can even get rebirth in heavenly realm, right? Heavenly realm. Number 2, any question? Okay, no question. Let's go. 5 material craving. Craving for joyous experiences, pleasurable experiences. Talking about piti, sukha. Tranquil experiences, equanimity, uddhacca, right? So when you attain the first, second jhana, you will have joyous experiences. Stay shaken, your mind stays shaken. But when you attain the third jhana, pleasurable experiences, little bit shaken. But when you attain the fourth jhana, the last one, you will have tranquil experiences, stable experience of meditation, right? So, and during and after rupa jhana. So actually we will learn rupa arupa jhana later, right? So for now, just remember that this is a rupa jhana blissed, right? Blissed. So during your meditation, you have craving for it, and after you come out from rupa jhana, you crave for it, right? 5 material craving. Craving for the life of rupa existences. So you want to become a Brahma, or you want to get rebirth in Brahma realm, a rupa Brahma realms, right? So this is the 5 material craving. Compared to the first one, this one is higher. Nothing wrong with this, right? Nothing wrong with this. But when you look at from Nibbana bliss, cannot compare, right? Cannot compare. And number 3, immaterial craving. This is a craving for tranquil bliss during and after arupajhana. In arupajhana, there is no joyous and pleasurable feelings, just tranquil feeling, uddhacca, equanimity, equanimous feeling, right? And craving for the life of arupa existence. You want to get rebirth in arupa brahmaram, and when you are in arupa brahmaram, you still have rebirth, craving in that existence, right? So this one, if we look at from immaterial craving, the last two are not very good, right? Not very good. And the last one, Nibbana craving. Desire for Nibbana is immersed to attain Nibbana. So therefore, in one of the documentary video, The Life of the Buddha, if you Google from internet, The Life of the Buddha, and you will find BBC documentary, The Life of the Buddha. So in that video, Dalai Lama said that desire must be there. He very forcefully, when he said, desire must be there to attain Nibbana, to follow the path of Bodhisattva. Desire is necessary. Without desire, we're going to do anything, right? But desire to harm others, that he explained. Actually, he is explaining based on sensory craving in normal level, right? Normal level. But when we explain from Nibbana bliss, right? Nibbana, Nibbana bliss, even desire to attain Nibbana itself is not good. So we have to give back. We have to abandon them, right? We have to abandon them. Here, I have desire for Nibbana immersed to attain Nibbana. Without desire, you cannot attain Nibbana. Of course, we need a strong desire. Strong desire. In Pali Canon, many times the Buddha emphasized makes a strong ordinary effect. Chana janeti. Chana janeti means aroused desire to attain Nibbana. So we need a desire to attain Nibbana. It is immersed. Without desire, we cannot achieve the bliss of Nibbana. It is the best desire in Buddhism. In Buddhism, the best desire, right? Even such a noble desire has to be abandoned when attained Nibbana. Venerable Ananda compares such type of desire with the desire to visit a park. When one is in the park, desire to visit that park is removed or abandoned. I think it's quite clear, right? Quite clear. So desire to attain Nibbana is the best. But we have to abandon even that one. So I think that I have shared one of the Sutta in the Buddha compare his teachings as a raft. Have I explained here? Explain here, right? No need, right? So even we don't have to attach to the teachings of the Buddha. Even the Dhamma, the Buddha said, even the Dhamma, you don't have to attach it. So the Dhamma is to cross over the suffering, right? Suffering. So no need to attach even to the Dhamma. Know what to say, non-Dhamma, Adhamma, right? So actually, I hope you understand. This is a different way of explanation, the different stages of craving or different stages of desire, right? I hope you understand. repetition or different way. No? Okay. So actually we have been learning consciousness rooted in hatred. So we two type of consciousness. One consciousness accompanied by displeasure. So when you are angry, it's not pleasant, right? It's not pleasant. But here, actually the way Abhidhamma is playing is very beautiful. Sometimes when you shout some people, or when you are killing enemies, right? Here, you feel very happy. Isn't it? Sometimes you're very happy to criticize other people with anger, right? Happy to shout other people with anger. So you may misunderstand that anger is together with happiness, or anger is together with the joy. It's not so. It's not so. So when you don't like a person, and anger is generated. Anger, unpleasant. No, it's unpleasant. But when you are shouting, but you have joy that you have done so. Actually, the object, what we always say that the object, it moves to your action. Your action, not the person. So the moment you think about the person, you have anger. But the moment you think about your action, so you have done shouting to that person, then you feel joyful and happy. So here, sometimes we may be very happy to shout other people, criticize other people, to kill enemies, right? Suppose mosquito is lingering. Then you kill mosquito, right? You feel very happy. Actually, when you are thinking about mosquito, anger arises together with the displeasure. But when you think about your action, so I have killed your action, right? Joy, because of lobha, greed, right? Greed. So actually what I want to say is, any type of anger arises in our mind accompanied by displeasure. Associated with the aversion, unprompted. And one consciousness accompanied by displeasure associated with aversion, prompted. Actually, unprompted, the prompted depends on motivation you make. Motivation. It depends on the motivation. If motivation is very high, then we can use this unprompted. And if motivation is not very high, we can use this prompted, right? The two level, only two level. So here is a beautiful sutta from Anguttara Nikaya regarding with the degree of anger we have, the degree of hatred we have. So the name of the sutta is Lekha Sutta, writing on the stone. So in that sutta, the Buddha mentioned three types of people. Number one, the person who is like a line on the stone, written on the stone. Just as a line written on the stone is not quickly erased by the wind and water, but persists for a long time. So too, some people often get angry and his anger persists for a long time. Very beautiful sutta, right? So you have to think about which type of people you are. The line written on the stone cannot be erased by winds, water very quickly. Of course, over time, right? It will be erased. but take long time. Some people, you think about yourself, what type of people, right? So the degree is very high. We can call it unprompted, right? Unprompted. Motivation is very high. Another one is the person who is like a line written on the ground. A line written on the ground is quickly erased by the wind and water. Does not persist for a long time. Just like that, some people get angry, so their anger is quickly erased. Quickly, ran away. So actually, at least we have to try to practice like that person, right? Like this person. So we can call it, this is a prompted, right? Prompted. The degree is very low. The motivation is very low. So just like that, a line written on the ground. So actually, I am teaching Abhidhamma. So I am teaching suttas using Abhidhamma frame. So while you are teaching Abhidhamma, you will learn many suttas. So actually, as I have explained that Abhidhamma and suttas are closely connected. So Abhidhamma is further explanation of the suttas. So we are learning Abhidhamma, we are learning suttas using Abhidhamma frame. So based on Abhidhamma, we are learning suttas, right? So therefore, when you learn about the sutta, keep it in your mind. So they're the same, right? So actually, I would say that this is a prompted. Anger, the motivation is not very high, right? So the last one, the person who is a line, just like a line writing on the water. On the water. So if you write the line on the water, what will happen? Disappear, very quickly. Even cannot write, right? Cannot clear. Just like that, just as a line written on water quickly disappears, does not persist for a long time. So too, some people, even when spoken to roughly and harshly, in disagreeable ways, remains on friendly terms, very calm. Even though people are using rough and harsh speeches, in disagreeable ways, remains on friendly terms with this antagonist, mingles within and agrees within. Very important, right? It's angry here, a little bit of angry, but he stay trying to talk to them, trying to associate with them, trying to work with them. It's just like a line written on water, right? So I think we have to practice in this way. So this is a slightest degree of anger, right? So actually, the Buddha just compare three types of people, but we can compare many types of people like this, right? So different degree of anger, right? How about writing on the matter, or writing on the matter, right? Matter. It will take long time, right? It will take long time like this. So removing resentment. So we have anger, of course. If we do not like the person, anger automatically arises. So if we do not like the song, thing that we see, anger arises. How we can remove our anger, right? Our anger. So this is the method. Normally, in Burmese Abhidhamma classes, we are not teaching like this. So actually, Burmese, they were they will take Abhidhamma exam. So therefore, no time to teach such a one. But here, I think most of you don't want to take exam, right? So therefore, I think our purpose is to understand Buddha Dhamma, right? To understand Abhidhamma and to apply Abhidhamma in our daily life. For that reason, so we will teach the Dhamma that you can apply in your daily life, right? So actually, the anger is our friend all the time, right? So we will be angry, we will hatred toward the person or the things. So how, especially this is for the person, how to remove resentment? Because there are these 5 ways of removing resentment by which the bhikkhu should entirely remove resentment when it has arisen toward anyone. Talking about the person. So you have anger and resentment to one person. How to remove it? So the Buddha has given 5 methods. The Buddha has given 5 methods. Number 1, one should develop loving kindness for the person when resent, right? Resent. So we have to develop loving kindness toward that person. Do you think that is it easy? Not easy, of course, not easy. But you have to do it again and again. You have to try again and again. Here, the word develop. Develop means you have to do it again and again. You have to cultivate. You have to do it again and again. So when you do it again and again, then the person you hate will behave in a better way. And he will show you, how to say, he will show, a reflection of compassion. Loving kindness, sorry, not compassion, loving kindness. Loving kindness is metta. So we translate the word metta as loving kindness. So the word metta means mettasa bhava metta. That means how to say, doing or performing or doing something. That person is just like your friend, just like a friend. So normally we will do good things. We will behave. We will use very nice words to our friend, and we're trying to help our friend. So just like that. So when you hate one person, so you have to hate them. You have to treat them just like your friend, right? Just like your friend. So in this way, you practice loving kindness. It's not easy, but we have to develop and we have to cultivate. So in this way, one should remove resentment toward that person. Then number 2, one should develop compassion, karuna. Compassion means for those who are younger than you, for those who are junior to you. Suppose in your office, the junior staff trying to make you angry, then you have to practice compassion. You have compassion toward that person, right? Actually, as he or she is junior to you, you can do him something, right? But instead of doing negative things, you trying to practice compassion toward that person, right? This is also one practice. Number 1, loving kindness. Number 2, compassion. And number 3, one should develop equanimity. Here, equanimity here is not like a equanimous feeling. So this one is equanimity means unshakable feeling. Unshakable feeling. So when one person is behaving the way you like, your mind is not shaken, very stable way. When one person is behaving the way you like, also your mind is not shaken, stable state of mind. So actually, equanimity, we call it spiritual equanimity. So this is compared with the equalizer. Here, with the equalizer, right? So the machine, the system equalizes my voice. So just like that, so even you hear pleasant or unpleasant songs, even you see pleasant and unpleasant scenes, you try to maintain the balance of your mind. So that is called equanimity, equanimous feeling. Normally, when we like, bias came in, right? When you do not like, anger automatically came in. So when you are in your social relationship, you try to practice equanimity or spiritual equanimity. So equanimity means balance or trying to balance our mind, not to before, not to have a bias toward, pleasant sight or pleasant sounds or pleasant person, right? Or not to be angry toward unpleasant sight, unpleasant sound, etc. Right? It's called equanimity. I think this is a very important practice. We call it mature, right? We call it maturity. For those who are mature, so they have equanimity. They can maintain balance of their mind, right? And number 4, one should pay no attention to it. So this is a normal thing what we are doing, right? So if you cannot do 1, 2, 3, pay no attention to him or to her. So this is also one of the practice, right? And then we normally follow this one. Normally, we call it patigha. Patigha means aversion, right? Normally, we normally remember people we do not like in our young, even when we are very young, right? We do not like some people. Then we can recall our memory. That's called patigha. Underlying tendency to aversion. So here, suppose this morning, one person make you annoyed or make you angry, right? But even daytime, even afternoon, even at night, you still remember, right? You still remember. The anger came again. But here, pay no attention me. Forget about that person. Forget about the action done by that person. So that is pay no attention to him or thing that he have done. This also, so we don't have to remember, right? Forget about everything. It's not easy one, right? It's not easy one. But the last one should apply the idea of the ownership for karma to the person one resents. Actually, this is it. The idea of the ownership for karma is a little bit. This one is good to know in this way. I am the owner of my karma, the heir of my karma. I have karma as my origin, karma as my relative, karma as my result. So I will be the heir of whatever karma, good or bad, that I do. We call it karma sakata samadhi. Just accept the idea of the ownership for karma. Suppose somebody make you angry, somebody criticize, or somebody shout. Remember this one. the idea of ownership of karma. This is his karma, that he will be the ownership for his karma. If I react with the anger, that will be my karma, right? That will be my karma. So if I react with the anger, many problems will come. Number 5 is a very beautiful way. So in your office, you will be offended. You will be scolded, right? Or somebody make you problem. Then you consider this one. So if I react with anger, many problem. Then I will not react. I will not use my anger. I will not show my anger. So in this way, this is my karma. So I am the owner of my own karma, right? So if I'm reacting in a better way, this will be my karma. You believe the ownership of your karma. You believe the karma confidently, with your confidence, full confidence. So even though you are criticized, even though you are scolded or blamed at the office, you try your best, try not to react with anger. Trying to react in a positive way. Because you believe the karma. You believe the idea of the ownership of your karma. So in this way, there's no point to feel angry. There's no point to have resentment. So this is also the last one. Right? So these are 5 ways to remove anger. But it is a normal way. It's a normal way. But when you practice meditation, of course, it will automatically or totally removed. All your anger will be totally removed. If you meditate, right? If you're meditating well. So this is a normal time, so we can use all these one. Number 1, loving kindness. Number 2, compassion. Number 3, develop equanimity. Actually, equanimity. We have a 4 brahmacharya, right? Brahmacharya. Loving kindness, compassion, equanimity. One is missing. Right? Mudita, what is it in English? Sympathetic joy. Right? Fine. Number 4, one should pay no attention to it. This is actually nothing to do with this. But one should apply the idea of ownership of karma. Right? Ownership of karma. One is missing, right? Altruistic, how to say, sympathetic joy is missing. So anyway, these are 5 methods to remove anger. Okay? So next one, any question? Then let's go to next one. So we just finished lobha and dosa. Let's go to moha. So moha is translated as delusion. The word moha derived from the root mu, like in monshati. So that means to bewilder or to refuse. So when you have moha, your mind is refused. You don't know what to do. So it means perplexity. So your mind is bewildered. You have perplexity about the objects. You don't know what is it. Here, the object means anything, even thinking in your mind. Suppose you have perplexity about good and bad deed. That's object. you have perplexity about the person, about the people, about the places, right? Perplexity. Moha is a synonym of avijja. So normally avijja is translated as a ignorance. So avijja comes from the root avidda, which means not knowing or not understanding. Moha and avijja are the same. Actually, I prefer this one, not knowing or not understanding things in their true natures. Not knowing, not understanding things in their true natures, in real natures. So that is definition of moha and avijja. Not knowing, not understanding. So when Abhidhamma interpret the word moha, interpret in this way, not knowing, not understanding, right? It is moha. Stay perplexity, right? Okay, let's go and understand. Moha or avijja can be defined as stated in Sammaditthi Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 9. So we have learned this Sutta when we learn wrong view, right? Wrong view. The same thing. So we can understand the meaning of moha, referring to this Sutta. So this Sutta is actually, the name of the Sutta is Sammaditthi, right view. So what is right view? So based on that Sutta, we can understand what is moha, right? Very difficult, very easy one. Number one, not knowing unwholesome deeds, kusala and akusala. You do not know wholesome deed as a wholesome deed. You do not know unwholesome deed as a unwholesome deed. And some people think that killing their enemy is good, right? Killing their enemy is good. They do not know that killing is unwholesome deed. That is moha, right? Not knowing things in their true natures. So not knowing kusala as a kusala, not knowing akusala as a akusala. So actually here you should know the difference between moha, moha and wrong view and ignorance, deity, right? Moha and deity. But when I explain about wrong view, I also use this one, right? It looks like the same, but it's not like this. Very close. So moha or avijja do not know unwholesome deed as a unwholesome deed. Do not know. Then wrong view, deity accept it. Unwholesome deed as a wholesome one. Wholesome deed as a unwholesome one. Actually, wrong view accept it. Moha do not understand, right? So wrong view accept as it is. So ignorance, avijja come first. Avijja do not know wholesome deed as a wholesome deed, right? And avijja do not know unwholesome deed as a unwholesome deed, but wrong view accept it, right? Because of avijja, wrong view came in. So we have one Sutta. I will show one Sutta later, right? Do you understand the difference? Right? So I accept, How can I say? I do not know the color of this one. The actual color is red color, right? Red color. But I think that this is a blue color. Blue color. Not knowing the red color is moha or avijja, right? Accepting as a blue color is wrong view. Understand? I hope it's quite clear. So actually this is a red color, right? Red color. So I think that I do not know actual color, but I think that this is a blue color. Not knowing a red color is moha, ignorance. But I accept that this is a blue color. This is a wrong view, right? I think it's quite clear. Actually, the difference is very slightly different, right? Slightly different. And number 2 level, not knowing the root of unwholesome and wholesome deed. So the root of unwholesome deed is loba, dosa, moha, right? But you do not know what is loba, what is dosa, and what is moha, right? Sometimes, sometimes it happens. Even when you are angry, you do not know that you are not right, right? You do not know that you are not right. It's moha, right? It's moha. So the root of unwholesome deed, and also the root of wholesome deed, compassion, loving kindness, and equanimity. All these are the root of wholesome deed, right? So you do not know it. You even belittle compassion and loving kindness. So even you may say that loving kindness doesn't work all the time, right? Like this. So you may have a wrong view like this. So here, not knowing the root of unwholesome deed and not knowing the root of wholesome deed is ignorance, avijja. But you accept it, the root of unwholesome deed, as the root of wholesome deed, in the wrong way. So that is the wrong view, right? That's the wrong view. And number 3, not knowing Four Noble Truth. Actually, I have explained this one. So when I explain wrong view, right? So actually, not knowing, normally there are so many suttas with the name of avijja. Avijja means ignorance. In the Citta Samyutta that talk about Four Noble Truths, there is one sutta called Avijja Sutta. So in that sutta, the Buddha said, what is avijja? Avijja is not knowing Four Noble Truths. That's avijja. But in Khandha Samyutta, that talk about 5 aggregate. 5 aggregate. And the Buddha said that the name is Avijja Sutta, right? So in that Samyutta, the Buddha said that what is avijja? What is ignorance? So ignorance or avijja is not knowing the 5 aggregate, the clinging, 5 aggregate of clinging. Not knowing 5 aggregates of clinging. Actually, therefore, I interpret that not knowing things in their true way, in their true nature, right? In their true natures. So here, not knowing, number 1, unwholesome and wholesome deeds. Number 2, not knowing the root of them. And number 3, not knowing Four Noble Truths. You do not know suffering as a suffering. You do not know the original suffering as a original suffering, right? So that is the avijja, ignorance. You accept suffering as a happiness. So that is the wrong view, right? Actually, the avijja or ignorance is the leader. The leader. Then wrong view is the follower, right? But in Paticcasamuppada, not knowing dependent origination is ignorance or moha. So if you do not understand dependent originations, that's also moha, right? Actually, dependent origination is nothing but talking about the origin of suffering, also the end of suffering. If you do not know that process, that means you have moha. Moha. And if you understand as a normal level, if you understand 1 and 2 is more than enough. You must know wholesome and unwholesome deed. You must know the root of wholesome and unwholesome deed. Then you don't have moha, right? You don't have moha. So if you use the word perplexity, you may not understand, right? Its better way is based on the sutta. So we will have better understanding. Moha means not knowing. Not knowing what? So we can explain 4 categories. Right? These are moha. At the number 3 and 4, even Buddhists, we can have a wrong view. We can have a wrong view. Right? This is a moha. So 2 consciousness rooted in delusion. Number 1 consciousness accompanied by equanimity. So this is not spiritual equanimity. This is a neutral feeling, right? Remember that is a neutral feeling. Associated with the doubt. Here, the word doubt. Vicikicchā. Number 2, 1 consciousness accompanied by equanimity. Associated with the restlessness, uddhacca. So 2 main points, doubt and restlessness. So these are 2 mental factors, 2 mental functions, doubt and restlessness. What is doubt? Normally we have a lot of doubt, right? In Kathavatu, points of controversy, right? So I have already explained that. And after the Buddha passes away, some scholar monks think that even arahant, they still have doubt, vicikicchā, the dispute, right? Dispute. So the Buddha clearly said that if someone becomes Sotapanna, the doubt or vicikicchā is removed. So they point out that arahant do not know the name of the places. Arahant do not know the name of the persons. Arahant sometimes have doubt what to do. So for that reason, they think that arahant still have a doubt, right? So therefore, we need to understand what is doubt. A state of mind that is unable to judge the objects in a correct way. Actually, I use a very technical term. I would say technical term. A state of mind that is unable to judge the objects in a correct way. In a correct way. Suppose here the object may anything. It can be anything. It can be anything. So we have doubt that the lobha is wholesome or unwholesome. We have doubt that dosa and moha are wholesome and unwholesome. You cannot judge, right? You cannot decide what is truth. Especially when in Buddhism we interpret the doubt based on 4 noble truths or based on 3 characteristics of the world. Tilakkhana. A nature, right? Impermanence. And anatta, non-self. and dukkha, suffering. Based on these three characteristics, we normally interpret the word doubt. For those who became Sotapanna, he uprooted all the doubt. The reason is, so when Pali Canon explained, when someone becomes Sotapanna, he used the line. I think it's the second time I explained this one, right? So the line is, Yankenchi Samudaya Dhamma Sabanda Nidora Dhamma. Thing that is subject to arising is subject to cessation. When something arises, subject to cessation, subject to disappear. So here that understanding, the understanding about impermanence, right? Understanding about impermanence. So if he understands about impermanence, impermanent nature of things, so he understands non-self, and also he understands suffering. So only Sotapanna, so they can remove doubt, right? So Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahant, no point, no way to come back, right? No way to come back. So here, a state of mind that is unable to judge the objects in a correct way. Our mind is subject to impermanence. Arises and disappear. Arises, disappear. Normally, we do not think like this, right? So we have a wrong view. Because we do not know, right? Not knowing the actual nature of the objects, the actual nature of the mind is avijja or ignorance. So we have the view that we have the mind, right? With the mind. All the time in our brain, in our heart, there is a mind, right? How to say, it is permanent. It looks like permanent, right? So if you accept it, that is wrong view, vicikicchā, right? Sorry, wrong view, deity. So then you have also the doubt or vicikicchā. Sorry, the doubt or vicikicchā. So you have the doubt that whether you cannot judge the actual nature of your mind and your body. The actual nature of your mind and body is arises and disappear, arises and disappear, right? Sotapanna, they understand this nature by themselves. For that reason, they do not have doubt as well as wrong view. So Sotapanna, they remove two negative emotions, uprooted two negative emotions, that is wrong view and vicikicchā, doubt, right? So here, doubt about Buddha and his teachings. The Sotapanna doesn't have any doubt about Buddha and his teachings because he really understands that what the Buddha said is correct. So therefore, he has a very strong belief of strong confidence to the Buddha and his teachings. But for us, we do not have actual practice. We do not have actual realization, just like in Sotapanna. Therefore, sometimes we have doubt about Buddha and Dhamma, right? Doubt about the Buddha and doubt about his teachings. So therefore, even one student yesterday asked me, right? All desire have to be abandoned. She couldn't accept that one, right? She couldn't accept. Doubt or vicikicchā. She has doubt about vicikicchā, right? We have, actually all that we have. So as long as we do not become Sotapanna, we still have such a doubt. Doubt about the Buddha and his teaching, right? Doubt about wholesome and unwholesome deed. So actually doubt is the opposite of faith or confidence. In Pali, Citta. So therefore, Sotapanna, he realized the real nature of mind and body. So therefore, no doubt. So therefore, he has very strong faith to the Triple Gem, to the Buddha and his teachings, right? And also Sangha, the opposite of faith or confidence. Restlessness, uddhacca, an ability to see the objects very clearly, because the mind is shaking. Our mind is shaking. So when we are meditating, using one meditation objects, in breath and out breath. So our mind must be in breath and out breath, right? Have to concentrate our mind on the meditation objects, in breath and out breath. That if our mind is going here and there, that means our mind is not stable, shaking, right? Shaking, going here and there. Not stable, not stay to the meditation objects. So that is called uddhacca. It is opposite of concentration. If your mind is concentrated, that means you have one pointedness of the mind, right? You can concentrate on the meditation objects, in breath and out breath. But so if you have uddhacca, if your mind is restless, then that is called uddhacca, restlessness. So in this way, you will not be able to see the objects very clearly. Object means anything, especially object means we can see that it can be wholesome and unwholesome thing, right? Wholesome and unwholesome deed. And also the object can be Buddha and his teachings. The object can be mind and material phenomena, mind and matter. So if you do not have concentration, you will not know the nature of the mind, your mind, the nature of your body, right? Because your mind is shaking, agitating. So therefore, uddhacca. So associated with the doubt and restlessness. This is from a compendium of comprehensive manual of Abhidhamma from this book, page number 37. Page number 37. So there are two types of consciousness in which delusion is especially prominent. Moha is especially prominent. One is associated with the doubt, vicikicchā, and the other with the restlessness, uddhacca. So delusion is especially prominent in this, right? Usually, delusion leads to the arising of greed and hatred as well. So when we have a greed, in your mind, that means together with delusion, together with moha, because you do not know actual nature of your mind and body, actual nature of things. So therefore, the moha or delusion is together with the greed. So when you are angry, that means together with moha. You do not know, so therefore you are angry, right? I will show you one soda. It's a very beautiful one. Very beautiful one. If you learn that soda, you will know it. Why? Moha is forerunner. Moha is together with greed and hatred, right? So therefore, when you are angry, when you want something, that means you have moha, you have delusion. But however, so delusion alone is present in these last two types of cettas. So associated with the doubt, associated with restlessness. So in these two types of citta, delusion is, ignorance is prominent. So therefore, it is moha mula citta, consciousness rooted in delusion. So when you have restlessness, when you have doubt, there is no greed, there is no hatred in your mind. I will give you a very clear example. Then you're going, how to say, you are going book shop, suppose a book shop, then you want to buy a book. You want to buy a Abhidhamma book, right? A Abhidhamma book. But you are not sure. You're reading, you cannot decide whether this book is good or bad for you. Is it good for your study? You cannot decide, right? You have doubt. Then you don't want to get this one, right? You don't want to get this one. You are going to close shop. You want to buy a trouser for you, and you have a doubt that this is a good quality or bad quality. You're not sure, right? You're not sure. You cannot decide. You cannot decide. So in that situation, you don't want it. You still don't want it, right? You still don't want it, together with the doubt. And also, if your mind is restless, suppose you are learning here, right? Learning Abhidhamma with a full attention, right? Full attention. Then the thought came into your mind. Thought about your family or your friends enjoying in the beach, right? The mind is going here and there, right? Restless, uddhacca, right? By this time, you don't like my teaching, right? You don't like my teaching. At that time, moha or delusion is prominent, right? Prominent. But now you want to know what I'm teaching, right? You want to know what I'm teaching. This desire for the Dhamma, right? Desire for the Dhamma. You have desire or greed, right? I would say that greed. But the moment your mind is going here and there, you don't want my teaching, right? You don't want to know, because your mind is associated or together with restlessness. So at that time, delusion is prominent. You don't have anger, you don't have greed at that time, right? However, delusion alone is present. So in these last two types of cittas. Why neutral feeling in moha? So here, there is no joyous feeling. There's no pleasurable feeling. How to say? Unpleasant feeling. There's only neutral feeling. Equanimous feeling. Why? Right? Why? So when our mind is under doubt and restless, if it is influenced by delusion, so it is not in a position to evaluate the objects as agreeable or indisagreeable. Just like one example, you are in the clothes shop, right? You're going to buy a trouser, right? A trousers. But you have doubt about this. Doubt about that trouser, whether it is a good quality or not. Right? Then delusion is prominent in your mind, but you cannot evaluate the trousers in an agreeable way or disagreeable way, right? And this is from the suttas. the underlying tendency to ignorance is in regard to neither painful nor pleasant feeling. This is neutral feeling or equanimity. So actually, when you have equanimous feeling or neutral feeling, the likely to have ignorance. Likely to have ignorance. Suppose you don't have greed or you don't have anger, but neutral feeling. By that time, the ignorance is likely to arise. Likely to arise. It's called vicikicchā, the underlying tendency to ignorance. So therefore, when you are meditating, sometimes ignorance very often came in. Because if you do not have mindfulness, if you are not mindful, so ignorance normally come in, right? Normally come in. So that means if your mind is under doubt and restlessness, so you were not able to evaluate the objects, whether it is good or bad, whether you like it or you don't like it. So therefore, in the moha, regarding with the moha, so there is only equanimity feeling, not joy, not hatred, right? Not hatred. So therefore, only equanimous feeling. Any question? Okay.
Knowing about their own doubt, I don't know what to find.
Oh.
Knowing the ignorance, I don't know. Isn't this an unpleasant feeling?
No, it's pleasant feeling. Very good questions. Knowing the doubt is wisdom, right? So you are angry, suppose. You are angry, but you know about your anger. That's wisdom, right? So therefore, we have a Citta nupassana, contemplation of the mind. Hatred, anger, greed, doubt, restlessness, all these are our mental state. So if you know the real nature of our mind, whether it is negative or positive, it is wisdom. It is wisdom. Knowing our doubt is wisdom. Any question? Okay. Sorry? Equanimity? No, welcome. What is it? Neutral feeling? Oh. Actually, they're the same. Equanimity and neutral feeling are the same. Neutral feeling means you don't have joy at the time. You don't have aversion at the time. You don't have a feeling of like and dislike. That's a neutral feeling, right? That's here, equanimity. So when you have a doubt about the objects, you don't like it or you don't like it. There's no such a thing, right? But the moment you can decide you like it, and you will buy it, right? You're buying it. The moment you can decide you don't like it, you will not buy it. You don't like it, aversion. You like it, greed, joy, right? Greed, like this. So if there is, therefore, here, neither painful nor pleasant feeling, neither joyful or aversion feeling, unpleasant feeling. Actually, is a Pali Canon normally use the word uddhacca masukha vedana. Uddhacca masukha vedana is very long one. Neither painful nor pleasant feeling. So So that is equal to equanimity or neutral feeling. There's no painful feeling, or there's no don't like or like. It's a little bit confusing, eh? Confusing. Okay.
Can I ask, okay, if now we are meditating and we feel the pain, but we just observe but we don't react to this pain, that is called equanimity, right?
Actually, we can call it spiritual equanimity. You have painful feeling in your body while meditating. You're not reacting, but you're just aware there's a painful feeling. Normally we call it mindfulness, samasati, right? You just know, you're mindful, just mindful. Of course, at the time, right mindfulness will be there. The wisdom will be there. And also equanimity, spiritual equanimity, right? Your mind is not paying attention to painful feeling. Also, if you have a pleasant feeling, you also do not pay attention to that. That's called equanimity. So equanimity means whether it's painful or pleasant feeling, you ignore it. That is spiritual equanimity, right? So those painful or unpleasant feelings will not affect your mind. So this is the way you have to do in meditation. Normally in meditations, when we are painful, of course, anger automatically arises, right? We don't like it, right? So when we have a pleasant feeling, we follow that feeling. We forgot our meditation objects, our breathing. So therefore, when we do not pay attention to the pleasant or unpleasant feeling, that is called spiritual equanimity, uddhacca, right? But when we know that it is a painful feeling, that is right mindfulness. You're mindful. So by that time, you know the object very clearly. You know the object means the painful feeling. You know the painful feeling as a painful feeling. That is our moha. In other words, that is panya, wisdom. The opposite of moha, right? So if you do not know the painful feeling as a painful feeling, that is moha. Suppose you know that, wow, I am painful. I am painful. You do not know painful feeling as a painful feeling. You mix with your I, right? I, wrong view, together with the wrong view. Because you do not know painful feeling as a painful feeling, right? The wrong view came in because of moha. Okay, so time is up. So thank you for coming. So I think next week we will have a very, very good lesson. Because we will compare, we will learn negative mental state together with the positive mental state. I think very important lessons. Yo vada bhava romanu jesu sakya muni bhagava kata kecho aragato bala dan sukatan saranatamu pemi ragawi ragama ninjama soka dhamma masangha dhamma man bagudan suvipadan Dhamma-English saranathamupemi yathacha denama apalamahu Chadrusu sisu purisayu Attacha Pogala Dhammadasati Sangami Mansaranata Mupemi Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. For those who haven't got the book, you can get from here. Good book.